And we are live, 7 o'clock p.m., May 3rd, 2020. It is good to have you guys. If you are here in the live, thank you for stopping by and watching. Whether you're watching this passively, just kind of hanging out, or if you're, one of the chatters there in the live chat, it's a pleasure to have you. Maybe you're watching this on the replay. Big shout out to the replay crew. What we're doing tonight is, it's kind of, I don't know. Usually what I like to do with Sundays is, unless something major has happened over, the course of the previous 48 hours, I kind of treat this as like open mic where anything can be discussed. Sometimes the SMT Nation leads the discussion with questions and comments. So I'll be looking there. Also, when the members here in the podcast, whether it's Tim or Caleb or to a greater extent Carlos possibly, or even Pete when he comes on, if that can guide the discussion as well. So wherever it takes us is fine. The plan is to give it an hour. Yeah, if we spill over a little bit, that's okay. But I definitely want to get things wrapped up no later than like 5 after 8. So let's give it a good hour. We shall do our best to help everybody in the nation. If anybody's wants to discuss a specific device, you want to talk a certain plan, any type of technology advances amongst the networks, maybe you have some questions. We have our resident RF engineer, Caleb, the T-Mobile engineer, is in the house. And then we've got Tim, who is our resident training manager. Is that your title?
Close enough.
Close. I mean, him and all of his bearded glory right there, smack dab in front of us. So, and then of course, Dan Hesse. It wouldn't be a good podcast without the Hesse here. So yeah, I did a video earlier after getting some screenshots of notifications people are getting on T-Mobile plans. And in the video, what I did was I asked a simple question: is if you are a T-Mobile customer, have you seen these or received these notifications? And in the response from the video in the comment section, here is what I've received from some people. Some people said they have not received the notification. Some people said that they have. Some people said that I'm a fearmonger. Some people called me boomer and told me to stop spreading rumors. And some people told me that I am again lying about stuff. Like, look, man, I asked a very simple question in the videos. Have you received these notifications? And then people are telling me that I'm starting fake news and making rumors. I don't know how else I could have framed it any different in the video. The simple question was, have you seen or received these notifications? 90% of the people responded yes or no, mostly being no. And then there's like a small minority, about 10% of the commenters in the video were saying that I was trying to spread fake news and create rumor.
What up, bro?
Hey, Carlos. Good to have you, man.
Hey, Carlos.
I got something from customer care. I recorded a little call that I did with them just about an hour ago.
Well, nice. Carlos, if you could be so kind to share what they gave you from customer care in terms of information.
I got you. Hold on. Let me play
Before you do that, Snark, 5G does not cause what's going on in the world today. Not even close.
No, don't even respond to me. I mean, look, bro. You're too nice a guy to even bother. Don't even stress it. I mean, we're gonna pray for those people. We are. We're gonna hope that they get through this okay, because they have issues, man. 5G's been around for 2 years. I have no idea what to tell these people. The same spectrum, everything's the same. From I'm done. I'm good. Carlos, go ahead.
All right, man. Tell me if you can hear it.
Or the grandfather plan, but we're not, we haven't officially migrated over. We just recommend.
There's been some people getting.
Oh, what the hell? Sorry. Let me replay that. It's just because I sent it to Josh earlier.
They were limited, when you try to take advantage of a promotion. Because the way T-Mobile set up is you can't have, some of those plans are 4 lines for $100. They don't offer that anymore. But because you're at such a discounted rate plan, you're not going to qualify for any of the promotions that we have currently, because you're already getting a rate plan. Does that make sense? You can't have such a grandfather grandfather plan and then take advantage of another promotion. I think they just view it as, I don't know what the theory is behind it, but it kind of swaps out the promotions. So when people call in that are on the grandfather plans, we ask them, or we let them know, like, hey, your plan doesn't qualify for this, but if you want to migrate over, we can hook you up with the promotions that you're calling in about or whatever else, like the Netflix. They don't get Netflix. So we always...
So
now it's just a better benefit to migrate over than just stay on the grandfather plan.
So basically, you got it's if you upgrade or if you out of line, it's not that you're forcing it; you're recommending to get it changed over. Like you guys want it,
yeah, exactly.
But the result is you guys are trying to get rid of those plans.
Right. And honestly, it is going to be a little bit more expensive, but the benefits alone kind of just outweigh the payment.
There you go.
All right, so there's a couple things I agree with her about, actually. The value in the newer plans is actually pretty good. I understand that the network access might be slightly different. Tim, you'll kind of speak to the DPRIO part and the management of that. But, I mean, getting Netflix on us is pretty nice. I'm getting... the Quibi is pretty nice. Those types of perks would not, be included in those older plans. So, upgrading you to a device and stuff like that and getting you changed, to me, it's par for the course, honestly. That's the way Verizon has been. AT&T's like that too. I don't know how Sprint has done with the older plans and upgrades, but I can speak to the other bigger two competitors in that way. Tim, maybe you could speak to the management, maybe, of the network access.
So, on the older rate plans, like the simple choice plans, the oldest ones I've seen are where you get 2 gigs of data per line, or 6 gigs of data per line, and that also includes your LTE hotspot. So once you go over the 2 gigs, whether it's on hotspot or phone data, you're throttled down to 2G speeds. However, that 2 gigs of data is purely 100% uncapped. No video restrictions, no form of network management of any kind until you hit that data limit. Versus like Magenta Plus, you're network managed on video at 6 to 7 megabit per second. Hotspot, even though it says 4G LTE, it's kind of deprioed. Your speeds are going to be a little bit slower than what you get on your phone. And things like that. Yeah, the Netflix on us is nice. Save you, was it $12.99 a month now?
Mm-hmm.
I think's what they're charging for the base package.
Yep.
And then Quibi is $5. You get to pick and choose, which one you want. I mean, it's kind of cool, but for that average everyday user, I would hold on to that older rate plan as long as I could, just because of
Price.
It's a purely uncapped network.
But the thing is, too, Tim, that you forgot that last year they actually let people get the unlimited at no charge. They're on those grandfather
Some
plans.
of them did get unlimited data, and
So
I've also seen
hotspot.
well, no, they didn't give the unlimited hotspot. They just gave you unlimited phone data.
Yeah, but they did change their plans, though.
So if you look visually in the system, it's going to show unlimited data with 7 gigs of 4G LTE hotspots, the most I've seen.
That's great.
I just think that the DPRIO needs to be done away with. It doesn't matter if you're on a 4G connection or a 5G connection, even though we do have 5G from all the carriers, even if it is on non-standalone. It just needs to go away. There should be no reason for it, in my opinion.
Because unless you're on a T-Mobile for Business plan, Magenta Military, or Magenta First Responders, you're subject to network management. And that's the unfortunate side. And if you're on Essentials, I am sorry. Your experience, I already know, is terrible.
Big shout out to Tony Phony Baloney, a $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. I don't trust Mike Sievert very much. I'm worried that he's going to turn the new T-Mobile into a business that only cares about money, just like AT&T. I can't be mad at a CEO to want to make money. You got to keep in mind, we're talking about shareholders that, are invested in this company. I mean, people want a profitable company. I'm never going to get mad at a company for wanting to make money. But up to this point, T-Mobile is heralded for this uncarrier approach. So if there's going to be a force out of a plan, obviously that's an issue. I'm not sure if that's really what this is, though. Like I'm trying to look at like the people that are affected seem to be the simple choice, and they're on this limited amount of data, like a bucket or whatever per line.
Very few of them are actually on unlimited, from my experience. What I see in my area, most of it is a 2 gig or a 6 gig plan.
Yeah, and you're talking about a guy who does activations all day. So he sees these accounts and he sees these different plans. And I mean, it's not going to affect a lot of people, I don't think. But it goes back to this concept of here's this company that may be transforming and becoming different than it once was. A new CEO, a new business model moving forward, maybe becoming more carrier-like than we know previously. Because if you think about it, and this goes to all of you out here, like T-Mobile had a roaming agreement on AT&T for 7 years. If you think about it, since then, T-Mobile has changed a little bit. All T-Mobile cared about at that point was market share. The network itself was an afterthought. It was always like, all right, we'll get there eventually. Nobody thought to themselves, we need to start taking the network seriously, because if that was the case, they would have invested in low band a long time ago. They wouldn't have just been swinging it with whatever band 12 they had, right? They started getting serious about low band in 2016, when all the other networks had already pretty much matured their low band 5G, with the exception of AT&T getting band 14 recently. T-Mobile's the only company really worried about low band at this point. Verizon has had band 13 for decades. AT&T has had band 12 since the beginning of time. It's and here comes T-Mobile, who's now trying to take their network seriously, and they know that's expensive. It's cheaper to do a Netflix or a Binge on Us program than to build out a nationwide network. And I think it's just that bottom line is always going to be there with the new company, and we would be naive to think otherwise.
I mean, for me, looking in from as an employee, I see this as a great way to drive their ARPU up, get their average subscriber cost up, closer to that AT&T and Verizon level. But at the sacrifice, you're going to be paying a little bit more. And going back to the simple choice plans, there's a fine line. If you're under 4 lines, the simple choice plans are more value. If you are over 4, Magenta or Magenta Plus is a better value.
Thanks, Darius Lamar, with the $5 super chat. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. It's hard to ignore the haters, because they kind of try to twist and misconstrue your words. There was no part of my video where I was trying to make a claim, other than I was asking the community. Anytime I'm asking questions on a video, it's to the community, because I can pull together everybody's experiences and what they're seeing, and I can use that to guide the conclusions of what we see. Carlos coming on with the evidence of it is even better. And then getting Tim on here, we can all piece it together. Now we know what's up.
I got one more, Sneed.
Go ahead.
About the email. Hold on.
Thanks, Gene, for the 5.
I got her recorded real quick.
Email.
Hold on, let me.
Just to be a generic email.
Oh, okay. So it was just like a generic email type thing.
Yeah, that's what he was.
So basically, what she was saying is that the manager confirmed that they did send out a generic email, that it was sent out.
Wonder how long it's going to be before I learn about this at retail level.
Tomorrow. I would assume something,
bro. True. That's the thing. All these people want to talk smack, bro, but this is the thing. We always try to gain as much evidence as possible before speaking about something. Just like people were saying, oh yeah, Sprint 5G is not getting decommissioned. They're going to enhance on it. Yeah, right. We proved that one already. We got Tech Extremists proving on it too. You know, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Big shout out to Empty Houston, Texas, with the generous super chat donation. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Tim. Hey, Sam. Hey, dude in the suit and tie. That's Caleb, a.k.a. Dan Hesse. Big shout out to
Yeah.
that. Thanks, MT Houston, Texas. Appreciate you, man.
I got one more.
All right, Sebi's got a super chat here. Thank you, man. How about asking the people that are affected to ask if they can get the Magenta plan, but with a promo that makes them pay less than the normal price? What do you think?
If you're, I mean, it's possible. I know right now, if you have one line and you switch to Magenta and you add 2 lines, you get one of those lines for free. And if you're a new customer, they're running a promo where you get the 3rd line for free.
A little bit of a cherry on top.
So if you wanted to activate 4 lines on T-Mobile Magenta with auto pay, you'd be at 140. So that's not a bad deal at all.
What Carlos? What are 4 lines at Verizon? 200, 180,
What
160.
plan are you talking about?
I mean, if we're like, what do we compare? Magenta at the entry level?
Magenta
Magenta, I would consider the middle level. Magenta Plus is your top tier. Essentials is the stripped everything.
So is Essentials their entry level unlimited?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's Verizon? Start unlimited?
Start unlimited, 35 a line.
Okay, so if we're gonna do apples to apples, and the Magenta's kind of your mid tier, so I think Verizon's doing about 45 a line for their mid tier plan.
Let's see here. Let me
you get 4 lines, so that would put it at 180. Tim, you're saying that 4 Magenta lines is about 140, so that's a pretty nice amount.
Yeah, it'd be 140, and you could do Magenta Plus for 170.
Oh, okay. So to get you the 1080p.
So it gets you the 1080p, and it gets you the 20 gigs of hotspot.
Okay.
Okay, so we're looking at 4 lines of Start Unlimited. They start at 35 a piece. So that's the basic one. So that's 140.
Pick one of the middle ones because I know they're the same price.
The
Play and the Do More or whatever.
The Play and Do is 45 per line. If you do 4 lines. And then Get More is 55 per line. This is before auto pay. You got to remember. These are just before auto pay discount.
Verizon's a $5 discount, right?
Yeah, $5 per line.
Okay, so that would only offset the taxes and the fees. That's basically the way I look at it. So, you're looking at about, 180 bucks. So about a $40 difference on that mid tier. Ron, thanks for the $5 super chat. No questions. Made it easy on me. Thanks, man. Appreciate the donation. Gene, very generous of you. Another one, man. $2. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. Let's see what else we got here. Michael Hendricks is in the house. Appreciate the super chat donation. Thank you so much for that. I'm just trying to catch up in the live stream here, in the live chat. Make sure I get to everything. Okay. All right. So that was the video from today. Things were kind of brewing. I wanted to nip it in the bud a little bit and just kind of discuss the topic. Not many people affected by this. For those that are, if you're going to upgrade, if you're going to get a new phone, they're going to encourage you to get out of these plans,
I can't imagine there's very many customers left, honestly, on Simple Choice with all the promos they've run over the last 2 to 3 years. It's either going to be a T-Mobile one or a Magenta plan.
They've been giving people a reason to go to a newer plan. I've seen a lot of incentive to get the newer plans. They're pretty nice, bro. Yep. I know that the network management piece is one thing to highlight, but I don't know, man. In most cases, I think people are pretty happy with the network experience. I mean, if the network was the issue, you probably wouldn't have T-Mobile, period. Or Verizon or AT&T. You wouldn't care how much money you're spending if you don't have signal.
Even with the network management, unless you're a heavy user like you, Carlos, or myself, or maybe even Caleb, I don't know if you'd honestly really notice that much difference. Because the biggest hesitation I get when I recommend a customer switch to an unlimited plan is I'm always on Wi-Fi. And I'll go look at their data usage. They're only using 1.1 gigs a month. They literally do live on Wi-Fi. This is Simple Choice customers.
Okay.
So there really, literally is no benefit in them switching, and they're paying $80 for 4 lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for anybody who's on an unlimited data plan, and if they take advantage of the truly unlimitedness of it, they're using 100, 200, 300 gigs of data. They've already become accustomed to that. They've been taking advantage of the unlimited data since the first plan, of unlimited, and
RIP.
Big shout out to Alexis. Thanks for the super chat. Let's take a look at the statement here. Sprint has cut my mobile hub. Alexis has that 5G hub from Sprint.
Yeah.
Moved down to 2G as verified by an email because I hit my monthly 100 gigs, and they'll only extend 2 gigs at a time for $10. I need at least 200 gigs per month. 500 for 100 gigs. Wow. So I remember when they actually launched that device, and I saw the plans, and I thought to myself, this is interesting because the LG V50 that came out at the same time, it gets 3G after 100 gigs of 5G data. Caleb, let's talk about this, man. This DPRIO nonsense going on 5G is insane.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we're building if you think about it, we're building the networks with enough capacity, so it doesn't have to be DPRIO'd. I don't know why they're even have DPRIO on there, to be honest.
Carlos, can you talk about the network access that you see whenever you're connected to Sprint 5G? What are the speeds like? What's
the speeds are phenomenal. What are you talking about? Here,
so what I'm saying is why the DPRIO on a network slice that's so high capacity.
Dude, I've used my line. I got the old unlimited freedom plan, all right? And I have the 5G add-on, and I've never been DPRIO'd. I've used 250 gigs on that line, and I've never seen an ounce of DPRIO on my Sprint line.
I mean,
when I do it on 5G.
Do we really need to pour it on Sprint right now? I mean, it's kind of a pain, but like the company's through, and we talk about the network and what they're doing. Like I reported on them losing subscribers and all that. I mean, it's just whatever, but I mean, they're done, so we could just kind of let it ride off into the sunset, but I never understood any type of a data limit or a DPRIO cap in 5G.
There it is.
Lay me down.
Salute.
See
Real 5G gone.
Trail Boy Gaming with the $3 super chat. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Matt Sullivan also the $5 super chat. Thank you guys for that. I guess all the super chats yet. All right.
By the way, I don't know if there's anyone here in the Raleigh-Durham market, but Band 71 low band LTE and 5G is now aggressively, finally rolling out.
Nice. Is it added? Well, hold on. Is it added spectrum, or is this going to be? Are we doing this thing again?
So you'd be looking, assuming they're doing the same thing they've been doing. You'll gain 5 megahertz of LTE on 600, and you'll gain 5 megahertz of 5G NR on 600. Assuming they're doing it the same.
But gain, as in like it wasn't there before.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
Oh, that's good. So that's 10 megahertz if you have the correct phone.
Yep.
That's not bad. Look, bro, I'm telling you, in some cases, people weren't gaining new spectrum. They were losing it because it was going from LT to NR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, with this 5G thing, I mean, with Verizon, AT&T, you have 50. I mean, with T-Mobile, you have 50 megahertz to 100 megahertz channels. You'll soon have 200 megahertz channels per slice per channel. It's a lot more bandwidth than 4G LTE. So why DPRIO it? You have the capacity, you have the bandwidth to do it. And that's why this isn't making any sense to me of why it's being done.
I'm really hoping the new rate plans that I'm hearing rumored don't have DPRIO on them.
That would be nice.
There are times, and I'm not even talking about DPRIO. There are times where people are on certain tower sites and it's just congested. It's not DPRIO that you're experiencing. Just a lot of people on the network. Then there's a lot of people on that tower site. I felt it with Verizon. I felt it with AT&T. It just happens. And, and it lasts a few minutes, or it lasts 10 minutes or whatever, 30 minutes in the evening. These things happen from time to time. But to build in a deprioritization element to a plan, it seems like in 2020, it's an outdated thing. Like, it made sense before AWS finished its rollout. It made sense before all this new spectrum has come to light with band 14 with AT&T. Like, AT&T having deprio makes no sense to me. After they scored band 14, if the FCC really wanted to boss up, they would have told them no deprio for any phones that have access to band 14.
So I will say this: a buddy of mine has AT&T. The cell site by my house now has band 30, and we all talk about how nice band 66 is. 30 smokes 66. Like, his speeds are
30,
impressive.
But 30 doesn't do upload.
I mean, that is true.
So
I watched him pull close to 270 down on the downlink.
Hey man, you're gonna sit here and try to poo-poo AWS Spectrum. Why do you think you've had HD video on your phone for the last 5 years?
That is true.
Was it because of band 30? I think not.
No, definitely not. That was between band 4 and 66. I completely agree with you on that one. But
bro, come on, man. It's what it's like, bro. It's like a shiny new toy. Like, what, you just gonna throw away the old toy now? And if we got all this cool spectrum, we got millimeter wave, we got CBRS, we got C-band coming. Well, hey man, do we at least give the props to the network access that really did it for us?
Props to Sprint 5G.
Right. 473, 33 up.
And that's on
cameras,
megahertz, right, Caleb?
Sideways.
And that's consistent.
Turn your camera the vertical.
Turn the camera vertical?
No, the other way. It's upside down now. People can't see.
What? It's normal, bro. I haven't said this.
No, one more degree to the right.
What?
Yes. There you go.
There? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude, this phone's really messing up.
Hey,
there you go.
Big shout out to Rich with the $9.99 super chat. Was with Verizon for 12 years, left for better pricing and a combined Sprint T-Mobile. Tell me this was not a big mistake. Look, if you left because of pricing, you didn't make a mistake. If you left for a network, for now, I think you have. Because the network's gonna be rough for a while.
So I'm hoping that everything that we're reporting on right now that's not so great flips and it'll be way better 12 months from now.
Sure. Hey, we predicted this a long time ago, man. We said that there was going to be a lull where Sprint customers and good Sprint markets were going to be mad. Turns out all Sprint customers are probably going to be mad, unless they didn't have signal before. Then they're probably getting signal now, which is good. I know I think there's some other super chats I may have missed.
No, not that I see.
I think there's
Did you get Metch 1164?
Metch 1164. Thank you for the super chat. I'm on the T-Mobile prepaid for unlimited, $50. Now through later in the month, I'm switching to Kickstart $25 promo at Best Buy when the Pixel 4a comes out. So Metch is basically going to upgrade his or her device, and then move over to a Kickstart. I believe that's a $25 promo after taxes and fees, probably $32 or something, $31. Look, man, you're not getting much out of that plan. And right now, you're bottom of the totem pole. So if you're coming, I would say T-Mobile's prepaid is still probably going to be a better option than a Kickstart that goes through the next year. Which, who knows how long they'll keep it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
At least he doesn't have long to wait, because as of right now, from everything I've heard, Pixel 4a should be out on May 22nd.
What? Guess what? What? I don't have any guesses. You wanted to buy that bridge I was selling over there in Idaho?
Oh, keep scrolling.
It's Feye week.
This is what Sprint's 5G is going to be like, right there. There you go. That's going to be Sprint 5G soon.
Oh, what was that, 3 megabits?
3?
Just Solo Gaming. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. T-Mobile brought 5G to DSM I'm a happy Sprint guy. DSM is what market is that? Anybody know DSM? I'm guessing that's a market name, like a abbreviated version. DSM. Haven't heard. I was expecting like DFW. Oh, Des Moines. Oh, okay, got you. Sorry, man. I'm not hip to the Iowa cities, man. I know Des Moines, but yeah. Do you guys know who Painfully Honest Tech is?
Yeah.
I got into like we were just chatting in the live chat one day. He was talking about T-Mobile. He's a T-Mobile customer, and he was talking about how 5G will never come to Iowa. And I was like, T-Mobile will get you 5G there. I'm not sure how fast it'll be, but it'll be there. And he basically said, no, it will be one of the last places to get it. So yeah, they're in Des Moines. So Painfully Honest Tech, take that.
I thought he only had Verizon.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched one of his videos in a while. He
mentioned 5G never coming to Iowa. I was like, you'll probably get it next year. And this was last year in 2019. Because it's a low band approach. So, I mean, it can go anywhere that there's 600 megahertz. It was a simple slam dunk for me. Okay, so you're having trouble when your network upload is better than your download. You're in trouble.
With packet loss.
We are 60 to 100, steady at 80. That's pretty good speeds, man. That's awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Josh Solo Gaming. Thank you. Gil with the $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Switch to the T-Mobile Amplified plan through my work. How's the plan?
That's a good plan.
Tell me about this plan, Tim. I've never heard of it.
So it's T-Mobile One. So you get the flat, depending on how many lines he has. I'll just use an example. You get 4 lines for 160, and you get all the One Plus benefits for no extra charge.
What is One Plus?
So he gets HD video, and he gets 10 gigs of hotspot. He gets the GoGo in flight, the Netflix on Us.
What is GoGo in flight? Is it 1 hour Wi-Fi?
Yeah, you get 1 hour of playing Wi-Fi.
Total for the month?
I'll have to re-look that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that plane Wi-Fi used to be unlimited, by the way.
Yeah, I remember when they changed it. It's expensive, man. It racks up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's business class?
It's so you have to have a promo code from your job to be able to get it.
Okay.
So if you work at like IBM or SAS or whoever, and they're a partner with T-Mobile, you can get that plan, but that's the only way you can get it is through your employer.
So it's somewhat subsidized through employers?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
The one thing I don't like about that plan is I can't activate it in store. You actually have to call 1-800 number to get it.
Oh, okay. So you can't get access.
I lose commission when people walk in with that plan.
No. Joe Robertson, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yo, bro, great stuff. I worked for AT&T and Sprint for 5 years apiece. And with our feeds, I feel like I never left number 2. But if you got T-Mobile, can we roam on Sprint? The roaming, yes. I mean, it's still technically roaming, right? Like the access on the
for
network?
now. It's going to be switching. It won't be roaming for long.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right, Caleb?
Yes, sir. You are right. It won't be roaming for long.
Yeah, the network is an ongoing thing. We'll have updates, I'm sure, as things are changing. Stuff comes out. We get new bits and pieces of information every so often. It feels like there's a story every week with the network. Like it's always something. Like it was like I'm looking at the devices. People are selling the OnePlus 7 5G, not the McLaren. I think it's the Pro, the one that Sprint was selling. And then it's the LG V50 and the S10 Plus. People are still selling theirs online. I don't think they realize that those things are worthless to a T-Mobile or a Sprint customer after this point.
That's probably why they're selling them.
But they're like people
know.
Yeah, and then people are going to be like buying these, bro. Like,
yep, it won't work.
You got played. You're gonna have to end up trading it in and getting yourself a new phone. 7:35 in the PM, May 3rd, 2020. For those of you watching this on the replay, big shout out to the replay crew. Shout out to the replay gang, SMT Nation. Let's go ahead and do the quick little community blurbs. In the description box.
Wait, you get 15 megahertz of PCS?
Band 2 is my tower is literally not even about a half a mile away, which is about right because it's right outside the neighborhood.
Jeez, I wish I had 15 megahertz of PCS.
And look at
I
all
got 5.
this.
Oh, the
All
neighboring
these ones that are
cells.
nearby. Yeah,
All right.
this is on LT. I just switched it to LTE only. No packet loss anymore. On 5G, I was getting packet losses.
We got 141 in the live. It is good to have you guys, and of course, yes, John. Big shout out to all my moderators: Rafi, Cesar, John. I don't know if Greg was here. Maybe I missed him. All the moderators here tonight. I see Pete's in the house. Whoever else is here moderating. Hope I didn't miss anybody else. Maybe there are others.
Hey, Carlos. Still beating you.
I know you're smoking me, bro. Yeah, you don't want that migration happening to your towers. I'm telling you. And look,
It's
I'll
already
go outside.
happening.
I'll go outside, bro, and it'll still be like this.
In the description box of this video, we have links to the SMT community components. We have the SMT Patreon page, the second channel where all of the live streams get linked and get archived, Twitter handle at SneedTech, and then the Megadon.net invite code, the social media platform of the future. Never need another social media platform ever again. No algorithms, no ads, no tracking. Megadon.net. So what are we testing here? What's the device, Carlos?
The McLaren.
That downlink was painful.
This is
Lord.
on LT. This is on LT.
It's
No, this
LTE
is
now?
better. Yeah, this is better. What are you talking about?
Oh, God.
Or do I want this? Or do I want that? With
2
packet
meg
loss.
versus 3. I don't know, man.
Spoiler to everybody out there that's in the live, or if you're watching this on the replay later in the morning, I will be dropping a video. The network for T-Mobile is slowing down over here. I don't know what everybody is seeing. If you are a T-Mobile customer in your markets, Tim, you've got a mixed bag. You said some of your sites are
It
are
depends
crawling.
on where you're at.
Yeah, some of your sites are crawling. There's a couple of sites by the airport that they're not
No,
phased.
I-
They're still getting
no,
150 megs, and
I was going to say, I will say this. So me and the wife went to Greensboro today just to get out of the house.
Mhm.
So that's about an hour away. 5 carrier ag, over 60 megahertz of spectrum. I was smashing 200 down. Like, it was
Actually,
beautiful.
I want to go back to work just to get access to that tower site because I've known it so well over the years, and I want to see what it's doing right now because when I left it, it was doing over 200 megs. You know, I'm curious to see, you know, with now Sprint customers accessing it, what that did for the tower in terms of, you know, speed and whatnot.
One thing, I mentioned it in our Twitter DM earlier. So sold the new OnePlus 8 yesterday. As you know, it has the X55 modem in it. Side by side, my Pixel 4 XL, exactly the same speeds. So X24 versus X55, at least in my market, perform 100% the same.
So there's no upgraded sites where they would be taking advantage of the extra carriers or anything like that.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, aren't towers going to be upgraded over the course of the next year?
You'll be able to get
2 years
now.
for North Carolina.
Caleb, shut up.
I mean, you're acting like it's farm country, is it?
It feels that way sometimes.
I know.
So with low band 600, you'll finally have 3 carrier ag, and you'll have access to between 25 and 30 megahertz of spectrum.
Big shout out
With
to Matt with the $5 super chat. Thank you for that. He said, just got my OnePlus McLaren 5G. Works better than my S10 Plus. What you're getting out of the OnePlus is you're getting a much better software experience. That phone is going to feel so much smoother. It's not going to hiccup. It's not going to lag. I mean, you've got tons of RAM too. Like, what is it? 12 gigs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the S10's probably the same, if not maybe 8 gigs. I don't know. Yeah, so no surprises there, in my opinion. What's happening right now? What are you guys doing? Are we having a speed test?
Just a test battle.
Yeah.
Just because yours is better, Tim, don't mean nothing.
You need to get a pixel.
Until they upgrade. No, it's when they upgrade your tower, bro. You're gonna see. You're gonna
Yeah, and that's
I should go speed test the one 3 miles away from my house and just see.
Yeah, and keep in mind that's the real difference when the towers get upgraded, the carriers get aggregated, stuff like that. I mean, I am just holding my breath for May 14th, man. I'm gonna get that phone so much.
Oh, you're talking about the Edge?
Yeah, that's plus. Yeah, it can't come soon enough. Can't wait.
Big Sean in the house. I'm in Central PA. Just ran a speed test on T-Mobile. Got 127 down, 18 up, consistent from what I've been getting. So that's like I said. I think some sites are just they've got the capacity, and putting a few Sprint users on there is no big deal. And I think especially in markets where Sprint's not really too popular, like Sprint lost a lot of market share in the CLE. I could tell because their towers are never congested. Never, ever. So there's not a lot of people on the network. But from what I understand, there's some markets where it's like Sprint country, Stop it, Carlos. We know what you're doing.
I was going to say that's
Sprint.
We know what you're doing.
Yay.
Even though the uploads are
41.
So.
Hey, Nintendo 504, man. I like the OnePlus devices. They're good phones. In my opinion, they're the best Google phone you can get.
The OnePlus 8 I do like. I do disagree that it's not the best Google phone. But the OnePlus 8, I've changed my mind. I don't hate it anymore, but it's better than what I thought it was going to be. The cameras are improved. The phone is improved. And the OS experience, every single one I've activated, it's been like butter. Like that 120 hertz display is beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's got 865 and X65 modem. Like you can't. That's pretty good. I got to give it props for that.
Artemis
has anyone bought the wireless charger yet? I want to know what that 30-watt warp charge wirelessly is like.
That's pretty sweet.
Because I haven't right? one, and I haven't seen one.
You guys don't carry them in the store?
Not yet.
Okay, but they would be coming. You guys would retail that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I'll buy one off you if you give it to me, man.
I can order it. I don't have it on display in the store yet.
Oh, okay. So you guys are waiting for some accessories and whatnot.
The main DC and down in Texas is on backlog. So we're like
for the phone or for the accessories.
Everything. We're running like 2 to 3 weeks behind on shipments.
Yep. The situation.
So lack of inventory, all the stores opening back up. They got to ship out all the inventory that was sent back in. It's a mess.
What's up, Artemis? How long do you think NYC would get integrated? Any time frame on a larger market like that, Caleb?
Flossie Carter. I'm gonna have to go watch the video.
It's such a large market, New York City, and especially they're trying to get that done. I know with Detroit and Michigan as well. I would probably look for those to be completed before August 1st. That's my guess.
They're moving quick, what I heard.
Yeah, we're moving pretty quick on that.
Well, when they put New York on the map as being one of the next cities, they're letting you know that it's on deck.
Yes.
When they said Columbus and they said St. Louis and that means that the infrastructure was pretty much there. There was a super chat here somewhere. Butter. Yeah. Looks like Bob got his mom the OnePlus and she's digging it. Nice phone. I think I'm gonna upgrade, man. As much as I like my Note, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll sell it.
I think the OnePlus 8 would be a good phone for you.
Well, I'm definitely getting that, and I might even also get the Moto.
Yes, please.
Yes, the Moto.
and then probably get the Pixel in the fall because I want to get a 765 phone, and I want at least one 865 phone.
Just for me in my life, the way I'm so integrated into Google with all the googly things in my house, it just makes the most sense for me to keep a Pixel.
Kimon, you bring up a good point. This is important for people that aren't aware of the OnePlus lineup for the 8 model. The OnePlus 8 is sold 3 ways: carriers, Amazon, or OnePlus. Those are your 3 options officially, meaning T-Mobile sells it, Verizon sells it. I don't think AT&T is selling it unless they decide to end up getting it later and then it has Band 14 access, but I doubt it because it's not there now. So you're either buying it through them, you're going to pay an extra $100, $7.99 through Verizon to get you millimeter wave access. So it's not exclusive, but their version is exclusive.
Low band too has the sub 6 too.
Right, but I'm just saying if you wanted just the millimeter wave, you're only getting it through the Verizon model from Verizon.
Can't wait.
The OnePlus 8 Pro is not being sold by carriers. You're buying it from OnePlus or Amazon, which is interesting, and that's going to come in at I think $900. So, and then I think there's a storage upgrade option that it makes it $1,000. I think it takes it up to $1,000. I think it goes from 128 gig to 256.
Yeah, it's the 256 gig variant.
Yeah, the displays are amazing. Even 90 hertz is a noticeable nice upgrade from a 60 hertz display, but 120 is definitely where it's at. There's a phone with a 144 hertz display. I don't know if you guys are hip.
Jeez.
Red Gaming. It's a gaming
phone.
The
new gaming phone, yeah.
Makes sense, bro. A gaming phone to have a 144 like bleeding edge technology display. Active cooling, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. Let me catch up in the live chat here.
I had another super chat just a second ago.
Was it from Lawrence here? Tim, with all 4 new iPhones?
So from what I am hearing, no. Only the Verizon variant will have millimeter wave. The rest of the models will be sub 6 only.
God, that sucks.
I heard this from my Apple source, bro, and they're saying that the Pro and Pro Max models will have millimeter wave.
The Pro and Pro Max.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's believable. Saying that the Pro Max is going to be the one with it, no surprise to me. If there's the regular 12 Pro,
that ain't happening. The regular 12, the regular 12, no, that's not happening. It's going to be
the Pro. I don't even think I've heard conflicting things, obviously, but the other thing I heard is the regular 12 is only going to be an LTE variant. It's only going to be the Pro and Pro Max to get 5G at all.
Let me tell you why that makes sense. That makes sense because if you look what Samsung did, and Verizon specifically, if you wanted millimeter wave access through Verizon through a Galaxy, you had to get the Ultra or the Plus on launch. They brought the S20 later, which it's still not available. I don't think you could buy the S20 millimeter wave from Verizon yet, but it's anticipated. I think it's coming in May, so we're expecting that soon. That would make sense. That means that they've got LTE only versions of the phone for the iPhone, and then they've got the Pro version that want 5G. And if you think about it, it's a Pro. So that's like a Pro feature, right? A higher network access. That seems like something Apple would do, to make it more Pro. Get yourself 5G access. Get yourself a higher resolution display. Higher storage if it comes with more of that, or more RAM, or more cameras. They've always pegged the Pro as being that.
I don't know, bro. I've heard that the regular 12 is going to have 5G too, bro, but it's going to be only sub 6 because it's good because all the chipsets are from Qualcomm.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too.
Yeah, but the Qualcomm's
SE Plus is going to be the only one with the Intel chip.
Qualcomm's integration of 5G into the chips this year in the 865, that's a standard. They're supplementing a chipset. They're adding the 5G to these chips. So I don't know. To me, the architecture is different in the iPhone example.
Yep.
I mean, remember, this is a late edition. This Qualcomm deal got done like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was not planned, bro. The iPhone 12, the iPhone, whatever this is going to be, is it the 12?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the 12.
So it'll be the 12, the 12 Pro, the 12 Pro Max. Those phones have been in production, or at least design and all of that stuff for over a year already, right? It takes them a year and a half to put out a phone. You know, so when you guys see a phone design, that's been in place for a while. They tweak it along the way, but it's mostly already been put together. You know, it's not, oh, let's design a phone in 6 months. Nobody could do that and get into manufacturing and then get it mass produced. It's not going to happen.
Bro.
Hey, Carlos, have you heard anything about the rumors that the iPhones are going to be delayed perhaps until early 2021?
November. Like October, like end of October, middle of November.
Okay, so that's a couple.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense, bro. You know, manufacturing. I mean, we're not the only country hit by this. Countries in Asia have been hit by this dramatically. Foxconn's in China, you know. So, no surprises there, in my opinion.
Crazy times.
I mean, if you're upgrading in the fall, you've got your choices. You could buy a Samsung from the beginning of the year and save money. You could buy a Note. You could buy whatever the Note 20 is going to be. You could buy, an iPhone. You could buy a Google phone. There's going to be choices, But I'm definitely going to be getting a 765 phone. I want to see what that's like, that experience, and then compare it to an 865 phone.
No LG.
I still want the LG.
That LG phone is a mixed bag. I've had two returned, and I've seen several.
What's the returns for?
One of them, kind of like what we discussed on one of your lives, Carlos. Guy got 2 charges out of it, wouldn't turn back on. And then the other one, his dropped down to Edge, and I couldn't get it back to connect to LTE no matter what I did. Swap the SIM,
that's the same thing that Carlos...
everything, and it gets stuck on Edge.
That happened to me. I was stuck in HSPA Plus and on the AT&T one, while the S20 Plus had 5GE in rural America when I was driving in rural.
For the life of me, I couldn't figure it out on the phone with customer support. Repositioned everything, replaced the SIM. I even put his SIM in my phone, instantly popped on LTE, put it in his. It was on 2G.
You should have been if you put this in your LG dryer, it'll get your LTE back.
For the life of me, I couldn't fix it. I'm like, I'm just going to return it. I'm not going to charge the restocking fee. What phone do you want?
Bro, it's a hot pickle, bro. That phone, it's a pickery.
But it's weird because others that we've actually sold a few of them. Some other people that we sold it to, no issues. So it's a complete mixed bag.
Well,
that's enough to get me to stay away, man, because I need a phone with a headphone jack. I'm done playing these games like this right here.
Oh, the dongle cable.
This is not a solution to anything. Okay, this right here, not holding it down for me, bro. I'm sick of these. I got these, all these adapters and dongles. No, thank you.
I got the same stuff.
I'm good, bro. I'm done. The reason I want the OnePlus is because I like the OnePlus hardware. The best Google phone you could buy. Tim. All right. And then I'm still getting a Google phone in the fall, though. Because I need to.
What do you plan to use the OnePlus on, though?
Bro, if you've never owned a OnePlus, there's no way you could possibly relate. The experience, it's a fluid phone that is ultra powerful, and the only thing that the Google phone does better than a OnePlus is still photography. That is it. Not battery life, not camera performance in terms of video. Doesn't have more RAM, so it doesn't. It can't do the really data intensive processes. Like the displays are better. The OnePlus displays are better than the Google phone.
Where the OnePlus does is brilliant.
How
However,
can you knock this, bro?
if I bought a OnePlus for my personal taste, I'd instantly be flashing the stock AOSP ROM over top.
But bro,
I
how can
don't
you
like
knock
the
this
Oxygen
design?
OS skin, but the
Yeah.
phone
Bro,
itself is beautiful.
I don't even. It doesn't even feel like it's running a skin. That's how stockish
No.
it is. Like seriously,
what
I
I'm
have no.
saying.
Like anybody who says that Oxygen OS is a skin, like you need to really use a OnePlus. Like I'm not talking about like a
Yeah.
day or an hour. If you use a OnePlus, you feel like you're using a Google phone, bro. I've had every generation of Google phone until now. The 4 was the only one I didn't have at some point. I've had
Oxygen OS is made in China.
I've
Here we
had
go.
I've had every Nexus phone. I've had every Google phone made by LG, made by HTC. I've had all of them. And seriously, Oxygen's OS version of Android, it's a Google phone operating system. There's so little different between a Google phone and Oxygen OS. It's such a
So-
small amount of
Well, I
difference.
got a question for you,
So-
Sneed. What carrier are you planning using the OnePlus 8 Pro on? What
Verizon.
carrier? Well, okay. Well, if that's what you're going to be doing,
Not the Pro,
why not?
not the Pro, not the Pro. Not the Pro.
You're not
the
getting
one-
the Pro. You're just getting the regular.
Just the regular.
Yeah,
'Cause
the Verizon.
Bro, there's no millimeter wave for the Pro.
Is it the? So you're just getting the regular to use on Verizon, AT&T, and so on, right?
Well, so here's the thing. Neither of them is going to have band 14. So
Right.
I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm probably going to upgrade to the new Note in the fall by trading in my old Note, trading in the Note 10 Plus. And that will be my AT&T phone. What I'm going to do with the other two phones is I'm going to use one of them on T-Mobile. And after I get my 60-day unlock, I'll use one of them for T-Mobile. Probably the Moto. Seriously, probably the Moto. I'll probably use the OnePlus on Verizon, and then I want to see which one runs better on T-Mobile. Honestly, I have a feeling the OnePlus will, so I'll probably end up doing that, and then I'll
I'm
probably
putting my
keep
money on the Moto
running better on T-Mobile.
just because of the way Motorola is known for their antenna design. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Well-
actually, I do know that for a fact. The regular Moto Edge, that's optimized also for your sub 6. So you're better off getting that to use on T-Mobile. If anything.
So
Real talk.
rewinding a little bit back to OnePlus and Oxygen OS. Yes, it looks very stock Android. However, why does OnePlus have to make a separate calendar app, separate SMS app without RCS embedded into it, a separate call app, and all that kind of stuff that I can get native on the Pixel without having to install other stuff, and also
but
the
you-
other Google Assistant stuff that comes with it?
yeah, but those can be uninstalled.
Yeah.
Last I looked at them, they couldn't. You can disable them. You can't uninstall them.
I had the 7 Pro. It was the T-Mobile version. The only things I had to uninstall were the T-Mobile things. That's all I uninstalled.
So yeah, you can get rid of like the T-Mobile app, the caller ID, and whatever
Yeah,
other
it was
little bit of bloatware
handful
that they put on there.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like the actual stock Google apps, like the stock messaging app, the stock contacts app, and Google Duo, and all that.
Yeah, but all those apps are available on the Play Store, and they could be used on the phone.
Correct.
You just mean native,
However,
already installed.
Whatever. So, like, example, just like, and I can apply this to Samsung and LG. So, if I want RCS only works on the stock Google messaging app for now.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
in
see-
order for me to have that, I have to have 2 texting apps on my phone versus just having a stock Pixel.
Sneed, I guarantee you the Moto Edge coming out in the summer will beat, from our perspective and bandwidth, will outdo a even if it's a 765, you'll probably get better performance out of it on that OnePlus, bro.
Nah, scallops.
This is gonna come down to the wire on them scallops.
Let's
Well,
put these
hold on,
scallops
wait. Can you correct me on the specs really quick? The normal OnePlus is at 765 or 865.
865.
All of it's 865. Every
Yeah,
single one?
the only difference between the 860, the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro, the Pro has wireless charging. The Pro has a proper IP rating. The Pro has a 120 hertz display, and I might have more storage as a standard. Like it might come with just 256. Maybe it's a 12 gig RAM standard. You know, like it's not a requirement. Like there's more value in buying an 8 than a Pro. But if wireless charging matters, if the proper IP rating matters, like the T-Mobile version and the Verizon version of the OnePlus 8 get an IP rating.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The others from Amazon and OnePlus do not. That's a cost saver. That's a cost saver. They don't have to pay for that rating on those devices.
I'm kind of curious what the performance is going to be like with the regular Moto Edge versus an 865 OnePlus.
That's one of the things I've been looking at, like even not just the processor chips, but the two modems.
Right.
Other than like, what's the perks of having 5G embedded versus a separate chip on the 865?
So the benefits, minus the bandwidth constraints, but it's going to draw a lot less power. So your RF transmitter draws a lot less. So that's not going to be running your battery down as much, right? Plus which
makes, right now, I don't know if you saw the latest specs, but right now the Pixel 5 for the regular is supposed to have a 4100 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's good.
If it makes you guys feel better, seriously, if I had to choose between the OnePlus and the Moto, I'd get the Moto because it has a headphone jack and a 5,000 milliamp hour battery.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's really that's like if I have to choose, that's really why, because 700 milliamp hours matters.
Yes, it does.
That's a difference between about 20 to 25% battery life, in my opinion, because I have a 4,300 milliamp hour Note 10 Plus, and this battery is atrocious. So if I have to charge my Note twice, that means that the OnePlus might make it through a day because it's running stockish Android, so it might not be as resource intensive. Carlos, I don't know. You could speak to this. You've had OnePluses. How would you describe the battery life? Man, this fool's muted.
What happened?
Go ahead. I was asking about the battery life on OnePluses. You've owned a couple.
Oh, bro, the battery on OnePlus is amazing. What are you talking about?
I was going to say the 6T I owned was really good. I have no complaints about the 6T that I had.
But imagine a Moto is basically a OnePlus. They're not so different. Mm-mm. And if I'm getting a 5,000 plus milliamp hour battery on, I think it's like 5 and some change, and it has a headphone jack, bro, that's meaningful to me. And it's more expensive. Let's not putt here. It's $1,000 for that Moto Edge Plus.
But I mean, the difference is you're going to be getting such better. What I was trying to allude to earlier, Snake, is if you're going to use that just on Verizon, you're going to get such better experience with the Moto Edge Plus over a OnePlus any day of the week.
Well, I don't see
plus the headphone jack, plus everything else.
I don't see C-band on the OnePlus cellular connectivity. No. I see it on the Moto. Right. I see a headphone jack. I see the larger battery.
Right.
Like there's a handful of things that I could say I like better about the Moto. The design on the OnePlus is better.
Yeah.
But I'm not really getting the Moto for design.
Right.
The refresh rate I think is 90 hertz also. So it's up to par. There's a couple of things I'm willing to look past.
I also want to look at the Moto cameras because they sure have been hyping them up too.
I will say that next year's phones, like the OnePlus phones for next year, will have C-band. Yes, that's a given.
Sean has the OnePlus 8 Pro, 44 hours on a battery charge, 8 hours of SOT. Okay, I mean that's good. 8 hours of SOT. Cool. Very, very few people would use that in a day. 8 hours of screen on time.
Hey, bro, you know why the Moto includes C-band, right?
Yeah, because we know Verizon's going big in the damn auction on December.
Word on the street is they might get some early access to some C-band.
Moto's always had the radio. Moto's always had the radios, man.
Yeah, I
No,
believe
they
that.
talk about they might get early access to some C-band.
So like
Verizon.
unlocking
Oh,
spectrum.
I was talking to my engineer buddy, and they're talking about that. Verizon's right now begging the federal government to get a slice of at least 80 megahertz worth
Oh yeah.
for right now to be able
Oh,
to
yeah.
deploy right away. 80, minimum 80.
Yeah, I knew they were pushing for at least 80 to 100. I knew that for a fact, dude. Like I said, dude,
Band
they'll be chomping
77.
at the bit.
Guys, if Verizon, I don't know what, let's say, when would you say this would be approved, Carlos?
They say right now they're in the talks, so we're just waiting on the federal government, on the FCC.
Caleb, what would be the best case scenario if they were to get an emergency order to get freed up C-band?
Emergency order, you're looking at deployment within, if they had the radios ready, about 2 or 3 months.
That fast?
That's if they had everything ready. Yeah, 2 or 3 months. It doesn't take that long.
Crap. So we're talking
That's
about
what I'm
by the
saying,
end.
dude. It really doesn't take, like, for as soon as that order is issued, if the radio is ready and if the network architecture is ready, if the RF is ready, if that's all done, the only thing that's left to do is really just temporary permitting. That's it. It's really quick. Yeah.
C-band, that's what, 3.5 to 4.7 gigahertz or something like that?
It's 3.7 to 4.2.
Are you excited for Verizon to get C-band speed test, Kitty?
Oh, speed test Kitty is. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, 'cause, I mean,
see?
Oh,
we know Verizon's going to go huge in that auction, dude. They're going to blow it out of the water.
so let's hypothetically say Verizon gets 100 megahertz channels of C-band. How much faster is that C-band going to be over the 2.5?
Dude.
With it being a little bit higher frequency band.
Oh my god, it's gonna make it's gonna, dude. That is such clean spectrum, especially because you're getting it from your C-band satellites, right? Dude, it's such clean spectrum, and it's such beautiful spectrum to play around with that crap, and it's such high capacity. Oh, it is amazing. And especially if you have if you have a 100 megahertz channel, you're probably looking at Jeez. Oh God, I can't. You're probably looking at.
Could you get almost 2 gig speed with that? Like 1.
You're probably looking at around, I would say, maybe close to 1 gig to 1.5.
Oh, like real world, like you got
Yeah.
data traffic and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And what are we looking at, like penetration difference from 2.5 to C-band?
Now the penetration is not going to be as good as 2.5, but this is going to be primarily an outside band, meaning you have to go
I was going
outside.
to say C-band would be a great outdoor coverage band.
Yes.
And then with their DSS mid band, that'd be a heck of a, I hate to say it, record cake.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great when you're just driving around or going to clubs and stuff like that.
Let me get to this real quick. PayPal donation from Jane. Thank you so much for that. Jane provided a super chat through PayPal. Let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you why low band doesn't matter for 80% of the country. Low band doesn't matter for 80% of the country because Verizon has a tower site every 2 miles. There's no two ways around it. If Verizon fits every single one of their towers with C-band, that's the ultimate network and nobody will ever touch it.
Dude, exactly, dude. That's why I want you to get the Moto Edge Plus, dude. It'd be freaking awesome.
Bro, like I'm telling you, bro, like from what he was telling me too, how they plan on doing some of the stuff, bro. They actually might make that Sprint vision actually a reality, but it's going to be the Verizon vision, where they're going to do low. Where they remember how Sprint vision was supposed to be low band to mid band to millimeter or whatever, basically taking their low band, mid band, and their 2.5. So they're going to be kind of progressing the same thing. That's what they're going with DSS. They're going to use it basically. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, it's going to be low band on 700 and 850, right? Your mid band is going to be your AWS and C band. Okay, if you aggregate those two, that's going to be plus the low band. That's going to be off the chain, and then your millimeter wave on that's going to be on your 2837 gigahertz, right? So that's going to be your cake. That is a perfect layer cake. It is. You have perfect low band, perfect mid band if you get your hands on the C band, and then your middle wave. We already know that's good. Boom, we have a complete layer of cake. Especially if they grab at least over 100 megahertz channels or over. Oh, it's done, dude. We're just might as well just Tim. You already know, boy. You already know.
Yeah, I already know.
Bro, and you gotta know, like Caleb said, C-band is a perfect clean spectrum. SINR, bro, it ain't gonna be an issue. SINR.
So
exactly.
So what was the spectrum it was supposed to take up to 2 years to fully clear?
That depends on the satellite companies, how fast they shut
down. Right.
Right. So the reason why, the higher frequencies you go, you have less signer issues. So you have less signal to noise because the signals, signal oscillations are higher. That means less noise to get through. Okay. And dude, like, oh my gosh, I can't tell you guys how good that clean spectrum is for C-band. It is gravy. It is gravy. And once that rolls out, game over.
So how clean is the 2.5?
It is susceptible to interference a little bit, but not as but not much. Not very little. Very little.
So the only one we haven't mentioned is AT&T. So do you think they're gonna get in on the C-band auction too?
They have to.
They will. Yes, but Verizon's just gonna go as much as they can.
I don't think anyone's gonna be able to outbid Verizon on this. There's no way.
No, well, they can't. Won't. They can't buy all of it. If that's any consolation for you guys. But from the first 100, I expect them to take 80. From the second 180, I'd expect them to try to get another 60 to 80. I don't think they're going to get another 100 lows. That's tough, bro. That's tough, man. Because
that's pretty tough. I know.
Here's from Joshua, right? What are the chances T-Mobile's buying C-band? Very good chance T-Mobile wants C-band. There's no way that 2.5 is going to carry them through the next decade. There's no way.
Nope.
It's not going to carry them through the next decade. I don't care what type of cake he's cooking up. Neville's tripping.
That cake already went flat. What are you talking about?
Like in the cartoons when the cake goes.
Yep.
All the air comes out the sides.
Papa Ray is screwing up.
Papa Ray.
That's Caleb's new Papa.
Bro, we gotta get. All right, I'll be right back. You guys hold it down. I'm gonna change my avatar. All right, hang tight.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna change this real quick. I'll be right back. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
That's what I'm saying. If T-Mobile, I hope, I wish there was enough. They could say each carry gets 100 megahertz minimum. That would be nice, but the game's not set up that way. But I hope T-Mobile goes big. But I don't know. I personally don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
I just don't.
I don't see it happening, bro. I
just have a good feeling Verizon's definitely going to clean house because no carrier has the cash flow that Verizon has, and it's instantly available.
Yep, I don't. Well, no, in December.
Bro, just being honest, man. Their pockets are deep. That is true, but
Verizon,
they're not going to buy.
They could throw around $200 billion, give or take.
Yeah. They can throw that like it's nothing.
And that's just instant cash on hand.
Remember, they have AAA credit rating too. If they need $200 billion credit line, they'll get it instantly.
Oh yeah, because they've been around forever.
It's not even that, bro. Every year, even though they do use credit lines throughout the year, at the end of the year they pay it off and they start from zero again. No debt.
Yeah.
The only carrier that literally at the end of the year every year has zero debt. That's the crazy thing.
Later. Yeah, it's true about Verizon. They don't really carry any debt. There's never anything like residual past a quarter or two. Like let's say they build up some debt. There was some investment in I don't know, like they just bought that Zoom type competitor, right? That was like $200 million or $500 million, something like that. Like that wasn't built into the CapEx, right, for the company. So that goes into operational debt. Bro, that's paid off in a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, bro. We're talking about a company that charges $90 for an unlimited plan for a single line,
So So now we know what Verizon's doing. We already knew what T-Mobile was doing. How do you think Dish is going to fit into this picture now?
Oh boy! If that Google contract
For another
gets
video,
signed,
big shout out.
I don't see Google going in with Dish only
Neither.
because Google has their hats in everything. They're going to be too worried about upsetting one of their partners and losing money, probably.
But Amazon could get involved. A big cable company could get involved. I mean, I know Charter and Comcast are kind of tied up with an MVNO. I don't know how many years they plan on doing business with Verizon, but have you seen their ads? They've added
Comcast, Spectrum, whatever you want to call them. They're doing well.
Bro, they like Verizon is right. The ARPU's not there when you do resell like that, but they got to be happy that they're still have customers on their network. Like they're still making money on that deal. Big shout out to Brian with the $2 super chat. Cake went bad with 10 megahertz millimeter wave. I can't believe that's a real thing. I would have never thought in a million years that was a possibility.
that's not. I never thought it was a possibility either, bro.
How do you do it? Is it like opening a sink like a quarter turn? Is that 10 megahertz a millimeter wave? Just give them drops? Like, what is that?
Drops.
Yeah. Like, here, have a little bit of millimeter wave. It's a cake. You just a little icing on the top. It's not even a layer. It's the icing. Sprinkles, man.
Bro, when I saw that,
that's interesting. So Bob said I could see Amazon or Twitter. I didn't even think about social media.
But look, this is the thing, bro. Is I know, what was it, last Tuesday? They drew some papers. We're just waiting to see if Google signs, bro. Because from some sources I heard that Dish drew up some paperwork and they were talking with them. Bro, so
Charlie,
it'd be a done deal with the kind of cash flow that Google has.
Because Google will benefit them.
Right. Google has to see a tangible benefit for their company. What are we going to be doing with this access?
They have wireless right now. They got the Google Feye. Why not make it 5G Google Feye with the Dish 5G, bro? Think about it. That makes perfect sense.
No, but you can't actually operate business like that. They can't sell Google Feye if they are owners in Dish.
Or they'll do something else, bro, with it. They'll just make them into Dish customers.
They'd have to change. Like Google Feye would be no more. Or if they're like, you see how it's a conflict of interest? They can't resell T-Mobile and then be an owner or an investor into Dish. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be a conflict of interest.
They'd have to abandon Google Feye.
Yeah. And which I don't see why they wouldn't or migrate into Dish. They still got the 7-year
Google's
deal.
The king. We all know Google's the king of let's start something and they'll kill it off. They've done that so many times through the years, whether it's hardware or software. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. They're the king of using people to test new things just to see how it'll work.
I heard they're killing off their search engine next year.
Think about how GOAT it would be if they did, because Google has the money. Their Dish's 5G would be
between Apple and Google, who would literally have more cash flow?
Google.
I was going to say, I think it's Google, but
Google. I don't care what anybody says. You know, Apple's this company, bro. Apple is Google owes nobody a dime. They don't owe anybody anything. They are restricted in no way. They don't have to answer to anyone. They do whatever they want and everything. Bro, do you guys know that Google had an influence in wireless networks before they even had Google Feye? Like, the only reason Verizon phones had to be unlocked for so long was because of Google? Are you guys aware of that deal with the FCC?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had their hand in that.
Yeah, that's the reason why Verizon had to unlock their phones. It's an FCC deal.
With the Band 13, it was included in that deal. Yep.
Oh.
Bro, Google is everywhere. They got it all, bro. They've been in everything. I love Google Feye for the concept, the unlimited plan. If it was better, like in terms of pricing and the DPRIO, that's the plan to have. You know, but now that T-Mobile's one network, it's like, okay, do I really want US Cellular? Like,
I'm actually surprised the Google Fi here in this area. What few people I know who have it, coverage is actually really good, and their speeds 1-for-1 literally match mine. They're not really getting deprioed.
they do in Vegas, from what I understand. I think Scoop was sharing some of the speed tests, and I think also in Phoenix.
It may just have to do with tower congestion. The tower I'm on is never congested, so that may be a big part of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Google's a better option. They're gonna have to abandon Fi. I look at other companies. Bob brought up Twitter and stuff. I don't know. That would be interesting. Amazon is a big player.
It's neat. Do you think Google will really abandon Fi? You think so?
They're not all in on Fi. What's so special about Fi?
Yeah,
I mean,
I like it, but I'm thinking to myself, like, what have they done in the market share that says we need to continue on this track?
Yeah, nothing.
And look, they're about to lose. They basically lost the Sprint part of it because it's not just T-Mobile or US Cellular. That's it.
Do you know?
So you might as well look at it as T-Mobile only.
Do you guys know how you know a company is all in on something? Is when they have like a real media push, like TV ads, like nonstop.
Like Magenta media push.
Yes, just like that. That's how you know a company is all in on something, when they're all over your TV. I only see Google Fi online. I see little banners as advertisements. I don't even see like a true advert.
So if you're looking at it that way, everything that they sell, because you got phones, you got tablets, you've got Chromebooks, you've got Nest products.
None of it sells.
You get so many different forms of hardware, they don't advertise really any of it.
And that's why it doesn't sell. Like, people don't realize that at Google Home, there's like 3 models.
Yep.
There's so much. Like, Google has these Chromebooks, and there's from all these different manufacturers. Google makes a slate. It makes these really nice tablets. I mean, they're overpriced, but I'm just saying, like, what isn't overpriced anymore anyways? But the marketing's not there. They're not. Google just doesn't do it, bro, when it comes to the marketing. Maybe with some other types of, I don't know, programs or something, it changes.
And it's sad too, because their products are actually really good. Like, I'm talking to y'all on a Pixel Slate.
Yeah.
I just got the new Nest smoke detectors with CO2. It's all app based, connects with the Google Home and through the Nest app, alerts you when you're not home. The thing's beautiful.
Yeah, that is all really good stuff. The Nest hardware is nice. It's super convenient. The connection's awesome. I remember when the Wi-Fi first came out, the mesh system.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best thing you could get for $300. Like, if you had a 3,000 square foot home.
You could cover your whole home with in-scale Wi-Fi, and the routers do 2 carrier ag on it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Hey, you know what's crazy though, bro? I just got an update on my dish receiver. Was it like about a couple days ago? Why is there Google Assistant and all this integrated into it now? A lot of Google stuff. A lot of Google.
Yeah.
Brian with the $2.
And the if you have
Google is a spy.
What are them things called? A Chromecast Ultra. It's not going to be paired with Android TV.
It's not?
It's not currently. It's going to be.
Oh, so they can send an update to Google Home and it could get done.
Yep.
All right. Well, boys, I do have to get to dinner. I've been fasting all day, so I do want to get going here. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We had Caleb, we had Tim, and Carlos. Thank you guys for stopping by. Big shout out to all the moderators in the live holding things down for me. Rafi, John, Cesar, Pete was here for a while. Not really sure. Mr. X, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Sorry you came in a little bit late. All my other moderators, thank you guys for being here tonight. And all the SMT Nation, thank you guys for watching. Whether you watch this on the live or you watch it on replay, big shout out to the replay crew. Thank you guys for tuning in. Anything for the good of the order, boys, as we wrap up?
I kind of miss.
Hashtag. What's the hashtag?
RIP Sprint Real 5G.
RIP.
Yeah.
Real Sprint 5G. Hashtag RIP Real Sprint 5G. I dig it. And in loving memory of
Danny.
Appreciate all the hard work, Caleb. Thank you, man.
Yeah, bro. That's some good stuff, bro.
I never got to witness it, but it was good seeing the tweet that's from Carlos.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's some really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish I missed the Dan Hesse plans. I learned everything. DePrio didn't even come to his mind back in the day, you know.
Yeah, Dan Hesse was a G, man. And you guys know that John Leisure is cut from his cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kind of like John's whole thing. And actually, I'm going to do a video, spoiler alert, that's coming up next week. So look forward to that. Again, thank you guys for watching. On behalf of all the goons here, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next live stream. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.